What's going on, y'all?
Are we on?
Wait, I guess nobody's in there yet, but
Yeah.
you
So
know,
I just did this for nothing.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna post it on YouTube, so.
Oh, okay.
How's everybody doing tonight? We're back. We are back.
This is for the first watcher that joined the.
First watcher that gets in wins $1 million.
That was me.
Oh, dang. We fund ourselves. Hey, let me see if the thing so I can see the question or comments. I love that delay. It's kind of cool.
It's a little, yeah. Especially from the phone aspect of that.
Welcome everybody.
What's
Join
up?
everybody in here.
Dang.
Bring it in.
Looked like Lewinsky joined. I
Can
think
y'all
that's
hear
what
us?
Does that say
Are
Lewinsky?
the mics okay? Can everybody hear us? Let us know in the
Yeah.
comments.
What's up? What's up? Shay James.
Dang, 13.
Wiggyberg's in the house.
Terry's in here.
Kirk. What's up, Kirk?
Waboo's pause.
Yo, what's up, Russ? Russ in
Can
the
everyone
building,
hear
y'all.
us? Can everyone hear us?
Who else is in there?
Let us know. I don't know if I.
It's going so fast. I can't even keep up with them old eyes of mine.
Tyler brought an interesting movie over.
I got the worst.
A porno. No,
It is not. I don't get that bad rap, y'all. I do not watch stuff like that. I do not.
He
I
actually
swear.
brought the outtakes to Pray with Omar, the actual scene. So if you guys want to check this out, it's called, what is it called, Tyler?
It's called Shriek of the Mutilated.
Jesus, that's a...
Yeah.
You can
It's
see that.
it's the worst Bigfoot, Native American themed Bigfoot movie that I've ever seen. It's terrible. It's from '74. Vinegar Syndrome put it out. They did a great job on the restoration, and that's probably about all I can say. But if you have not seen Shriek of the Mutilated, good for you.
You bought it,
Because
though.
I bought it and I love it. I love
like
every
how-
minute of it.
I like how
though.
you and Magnez always buy, like,
the
I mean,
worst.
like, you'll say, like, I hated it, but I still have it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's cool, though. Like, it's cool to
There's only 9
be
of
able
them
to
sold.
say that, to be able to say something like that.
9 of them sold,
I
guys.
own The Predator. That's a terrible movie.
Yeah, I know. But it's
I
like
still like it.
the completist in me. Like
Yeah.
when I see something like I've never seen it before, I blind buy so much stuff just because that's the only way I'm gonna see it. Like I don't know. I'm a physical media guy. I like to have the copy in my hand. I love the slipcase.
That artwork's cool.
And I've
though.
always
That
been
is,
that
yeah.
way. The art on it is awesome. I mean, they have the reversible cover. So if you wanted to do like the original cover, you can flip it
Whoa.
inside out. That's like the original art. I don't know. Even the smell.
Oh
of
my
something
God.
You said it's a
I don't know.
Bigfoot movie?
It is a Bigfoot movie. I
Is
don't
it
want to.
good?
No, it's terrible.
No, I mean, like, is the Bigfoot, does it look like a Bigfoot? or-
No, it's literally a dude in a white suit. And they glued. It looks like they glued some of those spider web. You know, like those bag spider web. They like
from
glued that
Halloween?
to his face. They gave him some of them old plastic Dracula teeth. And you can see the zipper, like in almost all the scenes.
Mhm.
He's even wearing tennis shoes. I 100% know he's wearing white tennis shoes.
Hey, don't
He's wearing-
forget the rest of the
Wearing
title, though.
Jordans?
What's that?
Don't forget the rest of the title. It's piece by piece by piece. The bodies vanish in the shriek of the mutilation.
Shriek of the Mutilated. I have a question out there for everybody that likes Bigfoot movies. What is your? I mean, we know what our favorite Bigfoot movie is,
Yeah.
but what is your favorite Bigfoot movie? So comment if you have one.
We got some, so Kirk Eden, I guess?
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong. What's up, fellas? What up? Yodokia?
Crow Nation in the house
Hey,
representing.
how's it going? Sacred Plum, yeah.
You guys see my UFO?
Paxton Norton, sponsored by Mountain Dew.
Maybe
Maybe.
one day.
I don't know.
That's-
Hopefully.
Maybe one day.
Man, I don't have a lot of dreams in my life, but that is one of
That-
them.
yeah.
Candy
I-
White.
Hit those likes, y'all. Hit those likes.
Yeah. Send them this video. Mountain Dew Zero. If I woke up one day and there was a case of Mountain Dew sent by Mountain Dew,
Dude, we're gonna get a cease and desist if that we sending it out. Hey, please take that off the live, please.
Candy White. Yeah, I got your pics. I sent them to everybody.
I think it's on Facebook, too.
I'm gonna post them on our Instagram soon, probably tomorrow. But
that was a wicked.
we just had I've had like a lot of stuff going on, and I just got done editing our episode for tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but for Friday. And so I'm gonna, tomorrow's Thursday. Damn, I thought tomorrow was Friday, but yeah, I'm gonna post more than likely post your pics on there. Give me a little backstory on the messenger if you can. Candy White, so I can put like a little story on it. But yeah, those pics were crazy.
They were wicked
Yeah,
keen,
they were
man.
crazy.
They were wicked keen.
Yeah.
I liked them. That was good.
Punks back in here. Hello from Del City.
Dale City in the house. What's good?
Okie
What up?
punks. I love punk rock.
Cease Torres, yo, I have something that happened to me up here in Plumas National Forest. Oh, let us know.
Somebody asked.
Reservation, or was it unsolved reservation mysteries at gmail.com. Send us the goods.
Or on Instagram. Check us out.
Somebody asked us if we remembered Amped Energy as the original.
OG?
Well, I'm old school.
I remember Amp, though.
I remember Jolt.
Didn't somebody almost die?
Jolt Cola, man.
The amp, someone drink like 9 of those and almost died?
I think you're thinking of the original full strength Loco, Four Locos.
Oh,
or
man.
something. Remember
Full
those?
strength.
Remember
Dude, I
those?
Full,
got hammered on those.
full blast.
I got it.
Dang.
I'm never drinking those
Sauced
again.
out. Dang, like Scandal
Yeah.
this weekend.
He switched. That was the day.
Let's tell you about that, right?
That was the day that he switched to Sam's Cola full time.
And Milo's. Milo's right here, everybody. And my color changing cup.
That's how you know it's cold.
Well, Booze Pause, you got my story? Yeah, I got it. It's a long story. That's a novel, but I am gonna read it on our episode coming soon. So be on the lookout.
Yeah.
It's a ghost. I guess she was an extra in a movie in that prison in Oklahoma City, in Santa Fe by the I school. So I'll have to send it to you guys, but it's pretty long. It's like 5 pages.
Dang, I like those though. Lots of deets.
Do you all have taboos about playing hide and seek at night?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I
We
do have
love those.
I have a story about playing
Yeah.
hide and seek at night. You want me to tell it?
Yeah.
Not a good story.
And I'm
Okay,
kind of nervous.
so I was a kid. We used to play hide and seek. That was like the most fun / terrifying thing to do. Just play hide and seek at night, and without fail, every time. This is so embarrassing. And I mean, I was an older kid, like probably 10, 11, 12 probably. And every time I played hide and go seek, it would twist my guts up so bad that I would poop my pants.
Wait, whoa. This is Tyler Randall.
I was a kid, and it scared me though.
Man, that's crazy.
I mean-
were you just so scared that you just
And
couldn't-
you know, like, I don't know about y'all growing up, but like, if you ever saw a car at night, like, did you just like run and hide?
Yeah.
Like,
Like that outside.
yeah.
Yeah.
It just literally scared the crap out of me.
Dang.
I mean, I would get so scared playing hide and seek at night. I don't know where that came from. I never saw anything, but it would just terrify me to play hide and seek at night.
Wow.
Especially like when cars would drive by. Whew.
Yeah, we used to play hide and seek at my old house in Pawnee, but I mean, it would be kind of freaky because everybody was being quiet,
Yeah.
and you can hear anything, and it's dark, like it's total darkness, and you're just kind of walking around, and I mean, but you know people are there, but it gives you like a weird, creepy feeling, like
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just a weird feeling all the time, but I never see anything. I always remember, is it the Conjuring? When they're
I've never
playing
heard
that-
anyone
that
ever-
clap game.
I've never heard anyone ever pronounce the Conjuring.
Conjuring. Somebody told me that. Somebody was arguing with me before in Santa Fe when that came out. They said, because I said the Conjuring, and I still remember it too. They're like, "You mean the Conjuring?" And I was like, "Is it the Conjuring?" Or the Conjuring? I never heard
They're
that.
messing with you.
And then they're like, "It's the Conjuring." I was like, "Okay." So that whole time, hey guys, let's go watch Conjuring. And then somebody said, "It's the Conjuring." And I was like, "Wait, well, what is it?" Like, I don't know. Like, somebody said it was the Conjuring, and they're like, they just started laughing. They're like, they don't know. I was like, well, I don't know now. So I'm just going to say both.
No, you
Whatever comes to mind now.
Yeah, no, because you corrected yourself. I was like, that was too natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I still call them the same name from this day. Like,
That's awesome.
because, I mean, well, I don't care. But anyways, like, that clap game, when they're playing that clap game, and, I mean, she goes in the closet, and it's like right by her head. Yeah, and that's like, oh
yeah.
God, like that freaked me out, but
That's why I'm pooping my pants.
right now.
Not right now.
I think I was wondering what that smelled like.
At 12. Somebody frying bologna in here.
It smelled like burnt hairs, man. No, I have, when I was growing up, we went to Woodall at Tahlequah. And, man, we always play hide and go seek in the dark. Because, like, there'd be days where, like, you know, you'd go to do a field trip or because sometimes, like, you know, it gets dark. And after school basically started or it ended at 6 o'clock. So we were always playing hide and go seek in the dark. And I'll tell you a story right now. We were playing, and my buddy was chasing a shadow this whole time. Like, we were all at the building. We were all, like, waiting at the building. And come to find out, he was chasing a shadow. The entire playground. And this playground, how it did is it wrapped around the building. So the building's here, and it wrapped around the building like this. So he was chasing this thing all around this building. We're like over here on the other side of the building.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he goes, man, he's like, I don't know who that was, man. You know, he was thinking it was this other kid who was fast, but he'd get like this close, like similar to what the Merle Holmes story that when I was growing up. You know, he'd get like real close and then be like, take off even faster.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, we lived like literally like right across the street from my elementary school that I went to. Like you could stand on my front porch and throw a beer bottle and hit it. It was
Dang,
that
a beer
close.
bottle?
I grew up in the East Side, boy.
Hey, that's East Side dreams right there.
East Tulsa for life. But no, seriously. And we'd go like they'd always want to go play on that playground, you know, at night. And my brother, because he was 5 years older than me, we'd always go out there and play on that play. Or I wouldn't. I was too scared. But like, they would just, you could hear them out there hooting and hollering. I'd stay on the porch. You could just hear them in the dark. That was enough to scare me, even though I knew it was who it was. But I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
scary,
wild, man. God. Yeah, I mean, there's always those stories out there, you know, when it comes to, you know, hide and seek. I'll tell you one of the craziest things, you know, that I've ever experienced was at that school at Woodall. One time we were playing hide and go seek, and it was real late, and basically the teacher, there was a group of us staying with this kid, and his mom was a teacher in the elementary building. Well, if you've ever been to Woodall and Tahlequah, basically it's on top of a hill, and you have to step down these long stairs. I mean, literally, the cutoff of the light is literally at the first step. After that, it's like pitch black. You know, and you'd hear things like down the stairs. You'd hear weird stuff like that. And, you know, we were standing out there one day because she was in the building next to those stairs that go down to the track. And you hear this weird, like it's almost like it's running, like on asphalt or going downstairs. But, yeah, the hide and go seek in the dark stuff, man, God, yeah, that's creepy. I see why you was out here number 2ing, man. No doubt.
Soft 2, man. Soft 2.
It wasn't even a hard 2.
Hey, speaking of, last time we were here, there was in your house, and I saw it. Did you catch that thing?
No.
Oh, dude! All right, I'm out.
Dude, I thought I saw it earlier when you walked in, Tyler. No.
If I see that thing, I saw it last time, and I freaked out.
Dang, I know. I ain't heard nobody scream like that. No.
I had to, mute my mic.
Kyle, you, Dale, me and my wife seen a wolf creature with a twisted human head.
Oh, send us that.
Man, whoa.
Send us that story.
Send us that story.
Shoot.
Oh, if anybody has any hide and seek stories, like crazy, whatever, we were just talking about, put it in the chat.
We were talking a little bit about, sort of off air, last time we recorded, about possible subject matters. Didn't somebody bring up a wolf? Some kind of wolf?
Was it me that
It wasn't
brought that up?
It wasn't a werewolf, but a wolf.
It was like they call, I mean, like I said, I'll say it, but whatever. You know, they basically call it skilly, you know, which is like a, God, he's getting away from me over here. I know, God. No, but no, yeah, I mean, basically it's like I guess some people say Skinwalker, out west says Skinwalker, we say more shapeshifter. Over here, I believe that's kind of what I grew up. But yeah, the story that you're referring to is from last week. Go check that out on YouTube. If you want to hear that story, basically it's about an old Cherokee elder who passed. You know, she's passed away now, I believe. But basically, she and her brother saw this wolf coming down the road. So check that out on YouTube. Like I said, guys, go hit the link and you'll go right to the YouTube.
But I would like to do an episode on that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Summer Blossom. Oh,
But yeah, send us that story though.
Yeah, for real, send us that.
Or better yet, but I guess the comments are limited.
I need the deeds.
Summer Blossoms. C-A-R. Conjuring?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
That's a subtle roast.
I think she's talking about the movie Christine. Possibly, maybe.
We talk about some haunted.
The Conjuring is what I think.
Because I think Christine happens on September 30th. Isn't it open and it says like September 30th, like 19 something? I think maybe that's what she's talking about.
Let us know. Then it passes everyone Yell game on.
Oh, the car. Oh, wait, that's what she's saying. She's trying to scare me. That's what it is. But for real though, man.
Car.
Why is that though? Was that just us? But like,
no, we did the same thing.
I was scared to death of cars, man. Even playing outside and you see a car drive by, we ran and hid.
I think what it is I think growing up, our parents always be like, that person might take you or something.
Yeah.
Because I remember being a kid. I remember even in the daylight we'd be like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Car, like, oh my god, there's a car, and you go hide. Like,
yeah,
you're not up to no good. You just.
Yeah. I mean, we'd even see a kid on a bike. We'd run and hide. I mean, unless we knew him, But like back in those days, like teenagers still rode bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is back in '80s.
Dang, I'll tell y'all a crazy story. Back when I was in Tahlequah, I guess it's really not a car story, but like parents always used to say, "Hey, there's somebody down there that's a sex offender. He actually is." Serve time. I'll tell you, this is a crazy story, but I'll tell it anyways. It's kind of spooky, but it's really kind of scary, honestly. Well, we were riding our bikes down there, out there at the edge of his road, like because we lived in basically low, like trailer park, basically. And we rode our bikes down there, and my brother rode his bike around to the other side, because there's like a double road that kind of loops around in that trailer park. And the guy basically, was trying to get my brother to come over there. Like, hey, come here, little boy, I got something for you over here. This crazy fool, not my brother, but the kid he was with, went with the guy.
No.
And basically my brother had to go tell his dad, his dad was home. They lived down the road from them. My brother had to go down there and tell the guy, the kid's dad, like, hey, your son went to this crazy sex offender's house just now.
What?
And the dad came down there and beat the ever-loving mess out that guy. Because I guess he has to live in a certain spot.
Yeah.
And that was crazy, because like he was always trying to get us kids. Like we'd be riding our bikes, just doing kids, young. Like this is like the early 2000s, before this borderline before 9/11. But yeah, he'd always be trying to get us kids. And then that one, I don't know why that kid was crazy though. That kid was pooping on the side of trailers. He had no shame, dude. That kid was a savage. I was like, he just drop his drawers and be like behind him. He's like, he'd be using leaves like the grass.
This is going down a wrong.
Dude, I don't know
this
where.
This episode's taking a.
Let's get back to the.
Anyways, yeah. Let's do that. I don't know where we were going there. You're welcome for that.
A lot of poop on this.
Yeah.
He brought up poop and we just lost it.
Yeah. Dang, y'all got a one-track mind.
Anyways, but yeah, that kid was a savage. Okay, go ahead, Russell. Sorry.
Have you ever heard of such a thing in Rocky Mountain? Oh, about that wolf with twisted human head.
Ooh, that's out in Stillwell, ain't it?
No, I haven't heard anything down in Rocky Mountain. Haven't experienced about playing at night. Well, let us know.
Let us know. Send it.
Let us know. Yeah, somebody said he
Summer.
sharded.
Summer Blossom. I didn't shard. It was a straight.
You gotta go. I sharded.
Full deuce.
Hide in the shadows, and the shadow will seek.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, you trying to get creepy with that one.
Yeah, don't be putting that bad medicine on me.
I was about 5 or 6 when we were hiding, and next thing I know, I was being pulled out from the cemetery.
Oh,
wow. Do you guys have any good cemetery stories where y'all going out there and messing around?
We did one time.
Yeah, I got one.
In Pawnee, there's the old Pawnee cemetery out south. And we went out there, but we didn't see anything. We didn't stay there long either. It was kind of just, I don't know, we just didn't see anything, and then we just left. But I heard that people used to go out there to do the same thing, just kind of look for stuff. And then somebody said that they seen like this whitish, they said it looked like a skeleton type figure, and it was like holding on to that gravestone, and it was peeking around.
That's what the Cherokees call it. The Cherokees call it Skilly.
And then it like ducked down whenever they seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, they were telling me that, and then They never told me that after we went out there. I was like,
Dang.
oh crap.
That's crazy. You got one? I know you.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of. So, like, we used to go fishing at the cemetery pond, is what we called it. There in Broken Arrow, for everybody that's in the Tulsa area, there's that cemetery. I think it's called Floral Haven, but it's over off like 129th and 61st-ish, I think. Anyway, back then, of course, this is 90s. Nothing was there. And I sound like an old man when I say that. But, I mean, there wasn't nothing there, man. Like, Walmart wasn't there. Like, nothing was there. It was just field, and that cemetery was there. But there was a big old pond in the middle of it. And we used to walk at night, like, probably a mile from where we lived with our fishing gear. And we'd go fish that pond. My buddies said that they heard moaning one time. Or what sounded like ghostly, like
groans,
Ugh. You know. But I will tell you one thing: I pulled a 5-pound flathead out of that bad boy.
Dang, for real.
I couldn't even get it in the 5. I was trying to take it home. They're like, "We're not gonna be eating anything." It comes out of the cemetery.
They might be frying it up.
I was like, "Man, I can't throw this catfish back, yo! Like that's freaking 5-pound catfish." I tried to put it in a 5-gallon bucket and carry it a mile home.
You might as well. Did you let it die? Did it die?
Dude, I just like tossed it out.
Oh.
Man, it wouldn't even fit in the bucket. It kept flopping out of the bucket. And finally, I just said, forget it. So by the time we got home, I'm sure it was.
It was toast, man.
Yeah, it was gone.
Rest in peace to that fish, like Stripey. Stripey, man.
But yeah, I went and fished that pond a few times. But one time I didn't go was the time they told me that they heard some groans and moans.
We used to go. Like I said, I used to be into ghost hunting and going to cemeteries. And there's a cemetery out in Braggs, America. It's out kind of out. I think I can't remember if it's east or I don't know, but it's out in Braggs, and basically the cemetery. There's 2 cemeteries out there that people always will go out there and look at and kind of hang out. I took a group of friends out there, and I had been out there a few times, and we've heard some things, but we couldn't really describe it. But one time where we were out there that time, and there was probably 7 of us. We rode up in a caravan, and we were walking towards the back of the cemetery. Well, the cemetery basically is allotted this big part of land. The gravestone stopped at a certain point, and it's a pasture, for future people that are going, die. And we walk back there, and we get about halfway, and I remember this like, for me, I remember it was like a footsteps off to the side. It was on one side, and I could hear it on the other side too. But basically, we were walking, and when you hear, and then we'd stop, it'd stop. And then we'd walk again, it's. Well, I had heard rumors that people had seen Bigfoot out there protecting those graves, I guess is what people were saying. But that's kind of what, I experienced out there in Bragg. So it was like, we walked, stop. We walked again, stop. And I said, man, I'm starting to get the spidey senses. Let's get out of here.
Dang.
Hit those likes, people. Hit those likes.
Hit the like button. Summer Blossom said, in a blizzard, I saw a 4-foot owl when I was driving home at night. I asked if everyone saw it. No.
Dang. I got that owl story, man. I think I told it. Did I tell the story about seeing that owl early one morning? I was gonna go work out. Man, that owl appeared.
Tell it again, man.
Should I tell this story, man?
I'd wait till
it's dark.
I'd save it for a pod, man.
Yeah, save it because I got one too.
Oh, okay.
I got a giant one that my uncle told me.
Let me just tell you, I went inside and I did not go work out, and I went inside and I smudged. Yeah. I smoked smooth off. I wasn't going anywhere outside that house.
An elder man walking by and heard me crying and took me home. My grandma's house is like 500, I guess, yards from the cemetery.
Is there more to that story? Did I miss the first part?
Oh, wait.
I think there's a first part.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So this was 5 or 6 hiding next thing I knew. I was being pulled out from the cemetery by an elder man walking by and heard me crying and took me home. My grandma's house is like 500 yards from the cemetery.
Dang.
I know, Russell, you live next to the cemetery, man.
I know, we do. Yeah.
God, that's creepy, man. I know, I even told you first time, I said, dang, I'm surprised there ain't no spookies walking the street. I guess there is. It could be.
That's just a crackhead.
Not anymore.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
spookies. Looking like The Walking Dead, man.
Tweakers.
Let's see. Yeah, we're downtown cemetery.
Yeah.
Nope. The car. Wait, right? Hide from a car. Oh yeah. Yep.
Hide from a car. I bet Chris has got some good stories about that.
That's the black phone.
Oh, my story I told us. That is similar to the black.
What's the black phone?
It's on Peacock.
Yeah, what
what
story is?
The story that I told about the guy trying to lure my brother. That is like the black.
Dang.
That's kind of how that happened.
I haven't seen it.
Shadow of the Deuce that smell lingers on. You know you're old when you remember no Walmart in every field.
Dang, I know Tyler aging yourself.
So
Dang, that's hard, dude. Here I am trying to provide some entertainment. Man, and I get ripped. Right here on my own show. On my own show.
Dude, Tyler stay getting ragged on, man. It's all right, though.
No respect.
Hit those likes, people. Hit those likes. I want to see a bunch of hearts going up. I love to see the flow.
Oh, so I felt like I was teleported to the cemetery because I was hiding on the side of the house. Oh, that's from the bean shack.
Oh, yeah.
I love Bigfoot stories, so do we.
Me too.
As a kid growing up in Bell, America, we used to play football on the Power Grounds, and me and my cuz...
I got cut off.
TikTok.
I too remember the days of no Walmart.
Those are good old days.
Kyle, send us the rest of that. As a kid growing up in Bell, America, we used to... Where's Bell, America?
Bell?
I've never heard of Bell.
Bell's Amusement
Where's that?
Park?
We used to play football on the Power Grounds, and me and my cuz... come on. I'm eager to read that.
Was it?
I'm waiting on the rest of it. How about the animals talking?
I told some
Ooh,
stories
yeah.
about some animals talking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I get so spooked saying this stuff at night, though. I gotta go home. I gotta drive home after this.
Shoot.
But
As long as we smoke off, I think we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told the story about animals talking, and I told that story about, man, dang, that dog telling that hunter about.
That's the one I released last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's or is it a legend or is it or not a?
That's not a legend. That's a Muskogee story.
That's what I'm saying. It's a legend. No, that's what I'm saying.
It's
Like
old story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like ancient story, I guess.
All those old stories. There's, Chris spoke on that too about back when animals talk. So a lot of times they'll start stories like that. The elders will start stories like that, and they'll say, back in the time when animals could talk, like then this happened.
Yeah, that's ancient. You know it's ancient when they say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a kid growing up in Bell, America, we used to play football on the Power Grounds, and me and my cuz seen a man with a headdress. We tried to crawl up on him, and he disappeared. My cuz took off, so did I, but we still played football, though.
Dude, you're a savage.
Dang, man.
He said we got to finish this game.
Yeah.
Game to 7 real quick.
Tied up.
You trying to crawl up
We in
on the
overtime
dude
right
in the
now.
headdress?
Man, that's crazy. No, that's one thing that's amazing about about our podcast is we have so many people reaching out to us about stories that that affected them, and they're in the middle. Like I said, Bell, America. Like we have no idea where that's at.
Yeah, tell us where that is. I'm curious.
Yeah, where is that?
Bell, America.
I've never heard of Bell,
Is
America.
it Oklahoma?
Let's see what his name is. Kyle.
Oh, he says he's from Stillwell.
Stillwell.
Good old Stillwell, man. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I got a. I guess it's really my grandma's passing. I kind of got a creepy story out there to Stillwell when she was passing. I had to tell it on the podcast. Hit those likes, people. I know we have some people in the live right now. Hit those likes, man. The more likes we have, we appreciate that, and it helps us get our podcast out to everybody. And
The Navajo Reds is scary. One morning, my brother was driving to work, and a half coyote with sheep legs was crossing the road.
Dang.
Nettie
Hey,
0090.
where was that little video that you sent? That looked like out in maybe Navajo country, of that Skinwalker that you sent that picture or that video of. That dude transformed, like right on camera.
oh, off the ditch, remember?
Yeah, off that ditch.
Remember
Maybe
the guy
you
had
sent-
Oh, he
stopped?
was crawling.
crawling.
Yeah.
Dang, that was freaking me out, dude.
Yeah, that was wicked.
Yeah, that one. There's a guy on Instagram or a person on Instagram that wanted us to watch that and talk about it. So We'll probably talk about that on the next one. But yeah, I've seen that video before. They sent that to me.
Did they say where that was from?
No, it just showed up on my For You page like maybe a couple months ago, and at first I didn't. I just saw some drunk guy, and then I seen it again. I watched it, and then but that time it had text on it. It said, "Is this a possible Skinwalker?" Because it's like mimicking a voice, but then it looks like a zombie. Like when you really watch it, it looks like a zombie or something.
His arm like grew like
and then he just starts
6
crawling.
feet. It was weird.
See, like, and the first time I seen it, I didn't see that because I just swiped up.
Yeah.
Then the second time I actually watched it, I was like, okay, that's
I watched that thing like a half a dozen times.
It's pretty creepy.
I know. I was like, dude, like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Like, it was weird, man. I was out there.
Oh wait. His engine started shaking when he's in that half coyote with sheep legs.
What should I be looking at? Should I be looking at this or this?
You could either one.
Oh, okay.
I excavated
Because
the
it's,
site
people
of
could
burials.
drop in, drop out all the time.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So yeah, that's how many people. I'm sorry, Russell. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I excavated the site with burials. Was watching TV at night, and it was like I could see a primitive man standing watching TV with me. I get to work, and other archaeologists report seeing a person standing always to the side of you. Our spiritual advisors smudge us in a circle, never seeing it again.
Whoa.
Dang, that's like that movie Ghost Dance. You ever see that movie Ghost Dance with Wovoka? I mean, it was like the story of Wovoka.
I remember you talked about it on your pod, but I still haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like that. They're out excavating and come across this burial ground, and elders are trying to stop this archaeological dig from happening. And then, anyway, this medicine man like goes and pulls this little idol from the body, and he summons the spirit of Wovoka, and he like wreaks havoc on them.
Dang.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it.
I listened to your episode, but I still never seen it.
Yeah, it's good.
The only one I've seen is Clear Cut.
Ooh, Nettie0090. In my parents' house, there's a legit leprechaun. My dad and brother have seen it.
Oh my god!
Man, that's crazy.
I got some LP stories, man. We got to do that one. That's the one I think everybody wants.
I've heard of the Leprechaun though. There was somebody that lived in Pawnee that had one. It wasn't an LP. It was an actual. Like they said, Leprechaun.
Like the movie.
It wasn't like it was real. Like I guess gross looking like that, but it didn't wear. Didn't wear green. It wasn't all.
Yeah.
But they knew it was like different.
Let me ask you about that, Russell. So we were in Pawnee this past September 3rd, and we got some history on those buildings. Do you think that Leprechaun is due to the past Catholic Church presence there in Pawnee? Do you think?
Maybe. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense. Yeah, we were in Pawnee, and if you made it out, thank you for coming out. But what did you think about Pawnee?
Man, so I'm from Tahlequah, and Pawnee gives me those types of vibes. Pawnee, to me, you can feel it in the air. Mm-hmm. Like especially when I was driving there, it was almost like ominous to me. Not ominous, but more of like there was a feeling that I had before I got there, and when even I told Chris this when we were sitting there waiting to start. I said, man, I got this weird feeling, it's almost like and I even told you this might have been too, but it was almost like a nervous injury before you play a basketball game or a football game. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm feeling like nervous because one thing too that I had, this is just me as respect to you and your people, I want to put on a show. I want to make sure these people come out and have a good time. Because, like I said, it'd be the same thing if you came to basically my town and showed out. But I'll say this about Pawnee: that roundhouse, man, y'all got that thing is epic. Mm-hmm. I walked in, I said, man, because Cherokees we got like a kind of a model version of that, and maybe not to that extent, but you guys have modernized that thing, and that thing looks so beautiful. I was like, man, that's epic. Shout out to Pius, man, for having us. he put on you guys, it was like professional. It was like this with a table. We had a soundboard. We had effects going at the same time. Yeah. Pawnee, man, I'm real proud to say that I was in that event and did that event because, Chris said bring it and we brought it, and I think the entities that are there. You even caught a video of the merry-go-round moving by itself.
That was right when I got there, and then when we were ghost hunting at the end, I caught that scream when we're about to go in the old IHS building, and behind us there's just like this crazy scream in the background, and everybody looked, and it was just nothing out there, out in the woods.
It was literally. So I remember going by this in the daytime because you got to go on that main road and you pass IHS building to take a left and go down into where the roundhouse is, and that's the way I went, and there's nothing out there by the house but that community center. Mm-hmm. It was basically it was a couple trees and then a field, and some people said, "Oh, it's it's this, it's that." I'm like, that was up in the trees, man. Or that sounded, and it didn't sound like I've heard that similar sound in the woods with my parents, and I made mention of that. I said, "Yeah, that sounds like what my mom hears when she's mowing. That's exactly the sound that she heard. She's mowing, and that mower's loud. It's all you can't hear anything around you, but she heard that over the mower. So that's why I kind of got spooked out. I was like, man, especially going into in one of the most haunted buildings in Pawnee." There's something actually that'll touch you in there in the morgue, that morgue area.
Oh yeah,
man. But yeah, Pawnee, man, it's got some serious stuff, and like I said, man, I felt honored to be able to do that event just for, just to be there and to experience that, and never being to Pawnee, that it was epic. I'll say that.
Yeah, there was on the comment section they were like, "Oh, it's a barn owl." But I looked up a barn owl, and I don't know, it could, but the barn owl sounded so much like the voice was like a raspy scream. I was like, that's not it. And I went through like videos of what it sounded like, and then I went back to our video, and it wasn't it. I was like, that's not it. And somebody said a fox, and it kind of sounded like a fox, but it wasn't. I just knew it wasn't. Like, it kind of sounded like it, but it wasn't like the same thing. Because I went back to ours again, and I was like, they're kind of, but they're different. Like, they're just different. Like, I don't know what. And then our my homie Sonny Boy was like, "You sound like a monkey."
It did. It seriously did.
It did.
Because I remember because all three of us were standing next to each other, and I go, "Man, that sounded like a dang monkey."
Yeah.
He goes, "Man, that did." And he's like, "That sounded like a chimp." Like, because I said, it sounded like it was in the trees, but it like echo. It was like it's like if I tried to scream like an owl. It's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Because it was like it's mimicking it. It's what it sounded like. And we did see some, deer on the way out. I saw some deer, but there would be no deer there if there was coyotes there or fox.
Yeah, sure. There were those deer that were there when we drove in too, in the daytime, and when we went out ghosting, and they're still there. They're eating, and yeah, like they would know a predator's around.
That's one thing that I hear people, like I was reading the comments of, of that video and of the scream. Oh, it's just this, it's just that. I'm like, a fox and deer do not mix. The fox are not its predator, but the deer know, that's something I don't want to be around. But we saw those deer, and I said, those deer must experience this a lot.
Yeah.
For them not to be spooked out, because they didn't. Because I remember someone shined the light, and you could see them. Now if you guys have any hunters in the room, when those ears go up, that means they know, like, there's something around that could get me. And those deer had their. It's the weirdest thing too. Those deer they were eating. It looked like they had their heads to the ground, but their ears were up. I've never seen that. And I've seen a lot of deer. I've never seen them with their ears up and their tail up. That was weird. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Now, we heard it again. Remember when we were at that other building, that superintendent's building? When we were all leaving, I don't know if you heard it, but when we were all leaving, it was to the east of us, like in front of us, towards the new IHS. It moved, and it was like that one sounded like a whoop, like somebody like ooh, like but it was loud, dude. It was like, I thought it was somebody doing it like in our group, and then I asked Sharman, I was like, was that somebody in the group, or was that actually like out there? She goes, I don't know, it's gay.
And I was like, hey, let's get yeah. No, I'll say something about the superintendent's building that we were at. So we had these spirit box apps, and basically it picks up frequency. And I don't know, should I tell this? When it comes to the dude scandal. So basically, we had somebody that went in the caverns. I won't go into detail about it, but basically, it told him to get out, and it said it on this app that I had. It said please away, and another person said feasting, and I'm like, feasting on what? Me and Marlon are like, feasting on what? And so it kept said, and it was like back. It kept saying back. Or it would say Mary, and we asked it if it's like, hey, are you Mary? Are you the person that was here and her name's Mary? Well, then it dawned on me, Saint Mary. It's Catholic. Well, the history is, and this is what Marlon told me, and he may have said this to everybody. I just maybe didn't hear it, but basically, that superintendent. I just burped on the live. Sorry about that, guys. But the superintendent basically murdered his wife and his kid.
What?
And locked him away in that cellar where that guy went.
Yeah.
Dang.
This is back in boarding school days.
That's some dark history right there.
Well, come to find out, he was crazy, and he was basically killing people, Indians and white people, and locking them in that cellar that he went into.
Whoa.
And I looked at Marlon and I said, man, this might, like, if it's telling us to please away, or, basically telling us to go away, and it's feasting, that ain't right, that's something else. I told him that.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps doing that, because, like I said, I had my phone, and I was halfway in there, like, thinking I was going to get in there, and I was like, I better not, man. Even Chris was sitting there, and we were talking to Chris about it, and he's like, see if you can, put your arm down there. And every time I got down there close, that meter spiked hard. So I couldn't imagine, if I went down in there, what was... talking into that spirit box.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, dude, it was intense.
That's wild.
I didn't go down it. Like, I was going to, but I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I better not. And I just followed my intuition too. And then, but we used to go in there, like in the actual house, because it wasn't boarded up. And this was years ago, but that's when we used to ghost hunt out there. But before, dude, it was pitch black out there. There was no lights. The college wasn't there. That other dormitory was run down. So there was two of them that was run down. The superintendent's was run down. And then, but out there, man, there was like a couple lights and that was it. And then so we used to go in the dormitories and walk around, and then we used to go at the superintendent's. And I remember one night we went there around 2 a.m. and we just sat there. There was a staircase, and we sat on the staircase, and somebody had a recorder, and we just sat it there, and we were quiet. We didn't say anything for 2 hours, and we were just trying to listen to see if we hear anything, and just trying to catch something, but we never caught anything. Like there wasn't anything, and finally we just like, after 2 hours sitting there, we were like, all right, well, let's go home, and those guys would pack up their little recorder, and then they would go home and like listen to it. But they never caught anything in there. We caught some stuff in that one we went in.
Oh, in the basement.
Yeah.
No, that's one thing. Russell, myself, and Marlon, we went underneath the old boys' dorm, and I had the spirit box. I had two spirit boxes that I used. One of them picks up basically white noise, and it hits everything around, and it basically, the white noise pushes that voice out. Well, I'm doing it, and you can see that the white noise is moving. It was dead quiet down there. There was nothing showing up, no sounds, nothing. It was weird, man. And then I was asking them questions, and nothing showed up, like nothing at all. And usually, most times you'll get something. I get it. I've done it at my building in Glenpool, and stuff shows up, but there was nothing. And it's real eerie that there was a chair sitting up facing that what was it, shower?
Yeah.
That was real weird.
Yeah.
It was like an old school chair, like back one of those like from the 50s.
Mhm.
It was creepy, man.
Yeah. But down there was like, I don't know, it was just like you were in like a studio booth. Like the sound just changed when you're down there. There was no wind. And the only thing you could hear is just walking around and talking and the echo of that. But even when we weren't talking, it just sounded like it was just a different vibe. Like I don't remember that from when we walked down there a long time ago. I don't remember that, but maybe it was like that. But now I'm being more like aware of my surroundings. But it still looked the same. I mean, that's how it looked when I was in high school.
Dude, those beer cans from like 1950 were down there.
Those
Those are still down there to this day. I know we were all laughing. It was like, dang, that's an old school Keystone. That's a 90s Keystone Light, man.
Still got the line in it,
I know.
the line can.
Yeah, I was like, dang. I was like, this is... And we were seeing Bud Light can or like Miller Lite cans from the 80s. I was like... Because you see those old school... They always try to bring back those old school ones.
Yeah.
We saw those. I was like, dang. I said, man. I was like, literally no one has touched this place.
Mm-hmm.
It's right. It's crazy, man.
It was... Pawnee was epic, man. If you guys... that's one thing about our live events. Chris always has something for us. He tells you, you have to listen when you're there. Hey, I got a surprise for y'all after the show if y'all want to, go. Or y'all want to do this. So that's one thing that, with the last 2 events that we've had, or I guess last 3, 2 out of the last 3, is we had a ghost adventure. And Pawnee was, we caught stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing about Pawnee. That's why Pawnee's for real to me, is we caught stuff. And some of that stuff was in the middle of the day.
Yeah, right in the daytime, evening time when we got there, that merry-go-round and those swings.
So shout out Pawnee, shout out Pius for having us, shout out the veterans, Pawnee Veterans Organization, and shout out to Pawnee Nation, Russell's people, man. They really know how to tell some good stories down there.
Shout out to our winners of the cash prizes.
Oh yeah, who won?
B,
and,
Fred,
and AD.
Yep.
AD had a wicked story. It's on here on TikTok. He had the Bigfoot story.
Oh man,
that was wicked.
Mm-hmm.
God,
I don't know if Chris sent that to me or not. He may have. I'll have to check my reels.
we can send it to you.
Yeah.
All right.
It's here on TikTok. I'm gonna also eventually at some point this week, maybe before we drop that episode, I'll drop the second place video story with Fred. Is it? I can't remember if it's Pumatah.
I have to look at the name.
He's Sac and Fox, Northern Sac and Fox. And he tells a pretty wild LP story.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was good stuff.
Let's see. So Paxton Norton, any stories about Muskogee?
Yeah, there's all those buildings down there. Yeah, we'll have, like I said, we'll be in Okmulgee when towards the end, right?
Yeah.
I want to say the 22nd.
Yeah, I think that's the 22nd. Yeah, we're doing a live show in Okmulgee, October 22nd. Come out, tell your story. Might do cash prizes again. I'm not sure, but we will keep everybody updated. Anti stuff. 3 dudes, 2 Mountain Dew bottles. This looks interesting.
Dude, you are not lying.
Whoa.
What is it? No, is he trying? Never mind. I ain't gonna say.
Insinuating
I was gonna say 2 girls, 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 1.
Yeah, no, we're not. Yeah.
Beverage.
No, what is it? I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't really know?
I don't really know.
You never heard of 2 girls?
No.
Dang, me and Russell, we're showing our age here, man.
Perverts.
God.
It was shown to me.
Y'all are sick.
I was held down now.
Y'all are lie.
That was a different podcast.
Look at it.
That's our other podcast. Well, let's see. We also re-entered to suicide would recommend being an archaeologist and history what should never be.
I agree with that.
They had fluffy hair and would peek around corners and hide behind kitchen tables.
Ooh.
Oh, the Leprechaun. They had fluffy hair, would peek around corners and hide behind kitchen tables. They would play with the cat toys.
Oh my god, dude.
Man,
That
that's
is
brutal.
Wow.
That is wicked.
Imagine waking up and seeing that thing.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Man. And I've seen enough spooky stuff, but like in the flesh, seeing that thing. Man. Thank God I've never lived anywhere where that's happened.
You know what? Like those Leprechaun movies, there's like 8 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they put him in space. They put him in the hood. He needs to come to the res.
Dude, facts.
Leprechaun in the res. On the res.
Dallas Goldtooth is starring.
Can you? That'd be a good one, man.
Dang,
No,
you
that
go,
would
you
be-
go to war with the LPs.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're copyrighting that.
Yeah.
Hey,
No one's
You know,
stealing
some of
that.
the
Unsolved
things-
Mysteries of the Reservation.
Thought of it first.
That's ours. Don't steal that.
There's been some things that we've discussed that have shown up other places. Just saying. I better not be seeing Leprechaun on the res.
Jace Davis at the John Ross Museum in Tahlequah. Me and my little sister had something inside and knock on the door.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
closed with all the lights off, and we was the only people there.
Oh, dang.
Nope. Yep. Hey, no doubt. That John Ross Museum, man, that's got some things. I've heard. I'll have to eventually go into stuff like that. I need to start talking to people down there again because there's some stories. Like I've heard the Merle Home Museum from the Merle Home Park. That's there's stuff going on, but no, that does not surprise me down there.
There was this guy sitting outside smoking around midnight, heard kids laughing in the distance, and was wondering where it was coming. He heard them getting closer, and there was a street fight, and he's seen movement, laughing, talking, and the next thing you know, he's seen a pack of dogs come into the light, got spooked and ran inside.
Whoa.
Have you guys heard of
That was-
Black Eyed Kids?
Yeah, I remember hearing, man, I can't remember the story, but I've heard of those. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what kind of reminds me of because they kind of they make themselves appear as if they're docile and innocent, and maybe that's what that was, but that's crazy. That's interesting.
Lewinsky, hi guys, I reached out on IG about the possible Skinwalker video. Yeah, we were just talking about that
Oh,
earlier.
yeah, we were talking about that.
You want to talk about it now? We could. Jace Davis, I also seen a black hand peek through the blinds too at the same museum.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Travis,
That's in Tahlequah?
yeah.
Hey, we need. Hey, one of these days, I think we need. I need to reach out to some people, and see if we can, get a way into that building, into some of those buildings. I used to know some people over there. Maybe I can reach out to a Cherokee National Treasure. Maybe I can, because that'd be cool.
Travis Sells, grew up on the White Eagle Res. I have seen many spirits.
Send us a story.
White Eagle.
Unsolved
That's
Reservation
by-
Mysteries.
That's by
at
Ponca,
Gmail.
right? White Eagle. If so,
Yeah,
that
that's about
place is-
Ponca. Yeah.
That place is pretty scary.
Unsolved Reservation Mysteries at gmail.com.
That's the story where my cousin was, and him and his girlfriend were walking, and they heard that whistle above them, following them. And then when they went to their room, that same whistle was happening in their room. And when we turned the light on, nothing was there.
Dang.
Yeah, that was on White Eagle.
That followed him?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. That's crazy.
I got a weird story that happened to me, but it's kind of long.
We got time.
Vernon Anderson. Yeah, we got some time. Tell us the details on it. I guess Lewinsky, since you're in here. Yeah, we've seen that Skinwalker video.
Is that the one that you sent?
Yeah.
Okay.
About
Yeah.
the guy, is it the guy coming out of the ditch?
Yeah.
That's one thing about that video when I saw it. I originally seen it before, but I did what you did, Russell. Kind of swiped up on it, and just kept going because sometimes those videos run a little bit long. But one thing I saw is the guy at the very beginning. He basically said, "Hey." To me. You look at the guy. He was real pale. He looked at. He looked like he didn't have any hair at first. No, I didn't. I didn't do like a detailed. Like I didn't zoom in or anything. But the creepiest part of that to me is the mimicking.
Yeah.
That's always the creepiest part because I think in Indian culture, it's always trying to lure somebody into it by bringing your guard down and then basically inviting them into your space. And to me, when I saw that video, I got goosebumps because I'm like, man, what if that guy was just thinking, oh, this guy's stranded by the side of the road, he needs help. Because I think at some point did he say help?
Yeah.
Yeah. My thing on that, man, I was just like, that's so creepy to hear that mimic somebody. And then at the end of the video, you can see that arm stretch out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the creepiest part.
I think it was. I think it was the Skinwalker. I mean, just the way it was crawling too.
way that arm, man, it like
Yeah,
stretched out like 4 feet. That was crazy, man.
I know.
That freaked me out.
TikTok, man. TikTok be slaying the game. Dude, scary content.
One of these days, I'll join. One of these days.
See, we're gonna have to hold you down and join you.
I'll sign you up.
I'm too old, man. I don't.
Oh,
Well, this is what you do, man. This is what I do. I just post videos of our videos, and then get on scary TikTok.
Oh, there you go.
It's just easy, man. But
I did join our Reddit though. You want to plug the Reddit?
ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we do have a Reddit. It's called Native Spook Stories. It's a community, so go ahead and join that. Tell us all your stories on there, and we'll even read them on the show too. But we'll interact with you guys on there as well. So the Reddit is for everybody. Lewinsky said yes, and the torso literally grew.
Yeah. That was wild.
Yeah, it did. That's good. That was a good video. For me to really, really watch it again and just come to the conclusion that I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe it is, and it was trying to lure that guy, and that would have been good.
Yeah. Dude,
That's what they do. That's what they do.
You know what? And this is one thing too that I think with those videos, I don't think we ever see the consequences of actually letting those things in.
Yeah.
It's always like the guys running away.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is just, I guess I'm sick. I guess this makes me sick. But I'm like, I want to see if someone actually kind of,
How close will they get?
Yeah,
Like,
how
play
close will they
chicken,
get with that?
Play chicken a little bit.
Shoot,
Nah, I
that's
would have
crazy.
peeled out too. I want to know. Did they know where that video originated from?
I don't know.
'Cause they're not speaking English. They're not. It doesn't sound like Spanish to me. I don't know where that video. I mean, that's why. I think that's why it's like some kind of res or something. Because I mean, that sounded to me like an indigenous language.
Because they were on a motorbike too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of those mopeds, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I got so many stories I've heard, seen, and experienced here in our Pueblo.
Oh,
Let us know.
Nice.
So many stories living on Navajo res. Let us know. It was about 2 years ago, and I looked stuff up, but I never figured out what it is. The dish guy really disturbed me. Yeah.
Same.
I went out hunting, and it was still a few hours before daylight, so I went and got settled next to a
A decent sized hedge.
apple tree, and after around 45 minutes, I couldn't see any stars, and the wind was starting to pick up, and I started hearing walking around me about 50 yards away, and I started getting really tired, and as the footsteps got closer, the more tired I would get.
Okay, that is interesting. I have two stories. They're like corroborating stories too. It's out towards, like, you're going to Hannah here in Oklahoma. Hannah's a small town. I'm going to tell those on the podcast because those are pretty. Maybe Chris may have some input on that, but it's something similar to that, where they're walking and they get tired and they want to rest, and then something happens.
I've had dreams like that, man. Like where you're walking but you're not going anywhere,
Mm.
or like your feet feel like they're like weigh like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I've had dreams like that.
Travis says, was in the East Timber with my brothers, and Dad heard laughter from a big bush. We got closer, and hundreds of small birds exploded from it.
Whoa.
Dang, and what type of laughter was it? Was it real high pitched, or was it just a normal human laugh? That's what I'm interested in.
Let's see, I'll be coming to Tulsa to the O's event October 20th.
Okay, yeah, there we
Ace
go.
Davis. Yeah, the time on that, I think it's in the daytime, because it's at the Tulsa Public Library, I think. We're still trying to get times on that from Chris, but I know that night I have a comedy event I got to host too, because that's a Thursday.
Yeah, I think Chris and I will be there though.
Yeah.
And Tyler, you'll make it out.
I'm gonna try to make that one.
Yeah, because and by the way, I want to say this too, just to whoever's listening. Cross out the Bigsby on October 15th. That one got moved. They moved the date, and so now we can't do it because now we have a conflict with Old Mogi. So if you guys see that poster floating around, which you probably have, there was like 50 shares on Facebook of it. October 15th in Bigsby is not happening.
Not happening.
What happened?
Where's that gonna be at?
What, the Bigsby one?
Yeah.
Well, it was originally going to be at my center, but then,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
yeah, and then we just couldn't make. I couldn't make it
That's
work, and and the people that were helping doing it, just they moved their day of what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Travis Sell said it was children laughs.
Children.
Ooh.
There's a lot of children stories, like spirit stories. Children laughing.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about haunted playgrounds, like a lot of spirits hanging out on playgrounds. I just told a story about playing hide and seek at night on the playground. That's just something I don't know.
Well, I think one thing too, when it comes to those child spirits, to me, and this is like I said, this is my opinion. I don't think they're children.
Yeah.
I don't think there's actual children spirits. I think, like I said, I think it's any rational person sees a child, they are less apt to be defensive. And I think a lot of these spirits, they manifest as children to drop your guard, because you start dropping your guard, you give your energy to that thing, and it grows stronger and stronger and stronger. So yeah, I think a lot of it too, I think that's why it's so creepy, because it is children, and you think of children as innocent and pure, and it's not, these things are not that, So no, that is an interesting point though.
I remember some stories coming out up in some of the First Nations when they were finding those mass graves. When they were kind of going through those old boarding schools up there, and they were talking about seeing like children like dressed like old ones.
Yeah, like old ways. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just interesting to me.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's one thing. I have to, because when we talk, this is one thing I love about the live stream. We talk, I start remembering stuff. I start remembering stories from over here and over there. When it comes to, children are often apt to see these spirits. I told Stinjati's story on is it going to be on this one? Stinjati, the rapper, Native American rapper, Muskogee Creek, he told a story similar to his daughter getting messed with and his daughter seeing things. And I told a story about a friend of mine whose little brother, who was a young guy, was talking to somebody in their closet. So maybe it's the innocence of the child, maybe.
Yeah, could be. I mean, we seen on the playground in Pawnee.
Oh yeah, you know what? I got some beef with some of y'all in the comments. I went to war with somebody. As we got to start scraping in the comments. Anyways, no, that was not wind. You know how I know it wasn't wind? Because this is one thing people saw, is when you were moving the camera, you filmed it from the other side. So there was a glass, the glass window was in front. I don't think people realize that.
I wasn't going to go out there.
Yeah, that's what I was, I thought about saying that, but I was like, well, it's getting too long in the tooth on this scrape. I'm done, whatever. But that's one thing about that video. If y'all see it, it's our latest video we posted, or that Russell posted, but Russell took the video. Is that there's a merry-go-round moving. Now at that time, I had just arrived there. It was not. It had just rained, but there was no wind. But the thing about it, everyone's like, "Well, it's the wind. It's the wind." How come those other two swings aren't moving?
Right. There's one swing really moving, and the rest are like just sitting there.
Well, didn't Chris tell a story about somebody he knew that was at that playground or something?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be on this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same playground.
Oh, okay.
Chris had that story from that. The person.
That's crazy that we saw that.
Yeah.
I
see,
But as you saw, you got it, and I saw the video.
And then
that's crazy.
I was want to go out there too, but I was like,
the crazy. This is how I know Pawnee people are savage. Them kids was out there playing on that playground at night.
Yeah, right.
I said, dang. I said, man, these kids don't give no cares.
Bro, I went outside to grab something from my car, and there's like kids running around. But that's how we were back in the day too. We'd be out there running around when there was an event going on over there. We do the same thing. We'd be outside the brown house. I mean, it looks scary out there because there's no lights, but we'd still be out there just
wilding out, man.
Yeah, just wilding out.
And
playing tag.
I'd be back over there in the corner deucing.
Shoot.
By the tree.
Look, hey, the LP wipe your butt for you, helping you out.
Deuce Randall.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Please don't give him that nickname.
No, it's me.
Yeah, don't let Chris hear this, man. I already catch
Is he
enough.
watching?
Is he watching?
Oh,
I was like, I already catch enough grief from Chris. So I don't need any more.
The slander, no.
Yeah.
But no, man, that's one thing too about that video is like I said, I say that in jest with the scraping and stuff, but that's one thing, man, is that merry-go-round was moving faster than that wind. If there was no wind, I'm telling you, there was no wind. I had literally just walked in the building, and Russell goes, "Hey, I got something to show you." He's like, "Man, this is crazy. It literally just happened." And I had just arrived, and I had literally drove right next to that park, or that little area where the park was, because it's literally right next to the road, the road that kind of leads in. And those things were, nothing. There was no movement, there was no wind, nothing at all. And the thing what you're seeing on that video is the window, because the shift in light that was behind Russell, is he was moving the camera, and the light was shifting. That's why you think it's wind. But I just want to say that.
Yeah. There wasn't wind, everybody. If you don't believe me, go there.
Yeah, go there at night too. No.
Yeah, go whistle.
By yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, hey, also whistle and also hoot.
And knock.
Knock on. Yeah.
Knock on doors.
Yeah.
Look out the window.
They like that when you whistle at them.
If you don't believe anything we talk about, go do it.
Go do it.
Yeah, you'll find out.
And you know
Prove me wrong, kid.
And there's
Prove
another
me
thing
wrong.
too, and I'll say this is hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. We had, when people do like duos and they like play our video, someone on here on TikTok. I had a guy do our video, the Don't Whistle in the Dark video. He had did a stitch or a duo with it.
Somebody did?
Yeah, and he's in his car at night whistling, and I'm like, big dog, go out in the woods and do that. Don't do that in your car.
He's doing the safety of his car.
Locked car.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, big dog.
Let me lock everything.
Yeah.
He's really out here like whistling, like just around the river bend, like just whistling away. And I said, buddy, I almost commented on my account and was like, go outside
By yourself.
Yeah.
go into the woods and do that and see what happens.
Yeah. For real. I didn't know somebody did that. Stitched it.
Because
That's pretty cool.
we're popping like that.
I'm
I was like,
flattered.
I am too, man. That's pretty cool.
Where'd you find that at?
I got lucky. He had just did it like 2 seconds before, and I had watched it because it popped up on because basically it'll popped up on the mentions, and they had tagged us on it. Go. You have to go back, and so it happened a long, when you first posted that video. But he was really in his car, and he was driving, just whistling away. I'm like, buddy, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, right. But it's daytime though.
He was like, I'm not driving. He's really like,
9 a.m.
He's in
the
the-
sun just beaming.
He's in the drive-thru at McDonald's. I know nothing gonna happen. Yeah, give me a cheeseburger meal.
Get 5 double cheeseburgers.
Let me get
20 cheese,
that quarter
and a Diet
pounder.
Coke.
Yeah.
I want that big rib. That's what he wanted.
Yeah. God, I'm gonna try to find that.
Try to find it because
Yeah.
I have never seen someone so obnoxiously whistle like that.
That's how it goes.
And I'm like, dude,
Messing with bad
I
medicine.
said,
Yeah.
hey, best of luck to you, buddy, but go out in them woods and do it. I see it's pitch black out there.
Dang. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to find that after we're done. Hold on. Nettie, we live in a canyon, can hear laughter, sliding and rocks clashing with lights going down the mason.
Oh dang.
Wow. Send us some stories, Nettie.
Yep.
Lewinsky, yep, they disguise themselves to lure you in. Oh, the Skinwalker. As
Yep.
kids, my sister had an encounter with a spirit that disguised itself as our younger brother.
Ooh.
There's definitely more to the story. I'll share on a Reddit sometime.
Yeah,
Oh,
Chris
do
had
that.
that story. Remember about
Hit those likes, people.
What
Hit
was
those
like
likes.
the spirit played in the doll. Remember that? And
Oh, yeah,
that,
yeah.
That spirit had entered that doll, and it was
And it was off. Yeah, off.
yeah.
Reddit,
It's pretty cool.
See, that's that same story that I was having issues in my house. Because, when you believe in, that's one thing about when I think it's for me, when I see comments of people, I don't usually get mad. I don't ever get mad at comments because people have, they can say what they want to say. But it's people that don't know what they're talking about and don't know what we're talking about. You play with these things. You go out here and whistle. Go do it. I'm telling you, you will regret it. Go out there and hoot. Go hoot out in the woods. I guarantee you'll regret it. And I love that non-natives and people from different cultures, they do listen to our podcast and they do watch our videos here on TikTok. And it maybe sound like I'm being a little, like confrontational, but to me, if you like, when Chris is talking about these things, he's being very vague. He's not going into the detail that we would go into off camera. because there's certain things to where when you discuss them enough, they come and see you. You know, and that's one thing that Chris is. You know, he's the GOAT for that. He'll give you a lot of information, but he also kind of protects himself in the process. And by whistling at night, he means if you're, you know, out your house and you're out in the country, or you know, he doesn't necessarily mean when you're at McDonald's at 2 in the morning and you're whistling. That's not what he's talking about. But that's crazy. I can't believe that. I don't know how I just remembered that too. But like I said, you know, we always want to protect our listeners, and that's one thing that, you know, Russell always says at the end of the podcast: smudge. If that's not your thing, send a prayer up to the Creator. You know, do what makes you comfortable. You don't have to adopt smudging.
No.
You know.
Yeah, I've had a few comments where, or not comments, but messages where it's like, man, you guys talk about some scary stuff, you know, and it's like, do we? Because I mean, we joke around a lot too,
Yeah.
but we talk about a lot of creepy, eerie, real stuff that goes on in our lives and other people's lives, and just these stories that have been passed on to Chris, you, and me, and Tyler, and I mean, if you haven't experienced this stuff, then lucky you, I guess. I mean, I don't know, but don't go testing the waters, like we've been saying. Like, you don't want to do that because, dang, they probably won't leave. They will not leave.
No, I guarantee you they won't.
Because you don't know how to get rid of them. You don't know how to. I mean, I see this stuff all the time on TikTok. Well, used to, people would contact these spirits and they wouldn't know how to get rid of them. Mm-hmm. And so, but I mean, I'm sitting there watching it, but it's like, you know, like I think it was the, what was it? The seven something game. I talked about it on the pod a while back.
Is that the Japanese game you're talking about?
There's that one, but this guy, he lit up all these candles. It's like a ritual, and anyways, you let whatever it is in, and it did get in, and it was wrecking stuff in his house. And he was all freaked out, and he was all crying around. And then people in the chat kept saying, "You gotta end it. Like, you have to finish it, or it's not gonna go away." And I don't know if you ever finished it or not, but I mean, like, stuff like that, like, it could just be a simple, whistling, knocking, hooting. My friend did that when we were out one time. There was like 12 of us out, and we're just ghost hunting, and my friend kept hooting like an owl. And it drew something to us. We're out, so the roundhouse, but we're way back. There's this bridge called the Catholic Bridge, and pitch black out there, nothing out there. We're just sitting out there, and he kept hooting, just doing it over and over and over. And I swear, dude, he did it like the last time. He's like, because we kept saying, stop, and then finally, all right, he did it one more time. After that time, like, the wind stopped, the crickets stopped chirping, and it got dead quiet. It was weird. It was like the weirdest thing I've ever, like, been around. It got dead quiet, and we were like, there's a little creek too that you couldn't even hear that. And we're like, we're trying to freak out, and then the cows started moving. There were cows like way in the pasture. All of a sudden, they just all started mooing, and we're like, "What the heck?"
When cows moo like that, this is one thing too that I've been around cattle my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
When they moo like that means something's around, and they're telling each other, "Hey, we need to form a pack."
Oh my God, that's what happened. Like, they were just all of a sudden like they were all moving. We're like, "What's going on?" And then everything stopped with that. And then all of a sudden, like, I think what we heard was like a monkey or something. Because I wasn't gonna say this, but I swear, dude, it was like something swinging from the trees, like this, swinging from tree to tree, and then you could hear it. And it was breaking branches and stuff, and then we're like sitting there. We're like, "Bro, is that coming towards us?"
Dude.
And it was coming towards us. And then we just all like shut up and listened. All of a sudden it stopped. Like, that noise stopped. And I got in my car and I was like, "Man, I'm about to bounce out of here."
Dude, yeah. And
then, like, our friend was like, no, let's just hang out here for a little bit longer. And then they got so the cow started to stop moving. All of a sudden, like right in front of us, dude. I didn't see anything, but something was coming out of the weeds and the trees, and it was just coming to. It was like a man or something.
Oh,
Turned my car on, I didn't look, pulled out. We drove, man. And my friend that was hooting just jumped in my friend's car, busted up his speaker. He didn't open the door. He just jumped through the window, and he busted up his speaker, and his legs were all hanging out of the window. And then my friend, like the dude that was driving that car, just peeled out, and I followed him. And we were just like, we drove as fast as we could back to our other friend's house, and we're just like, did you see it? And then my friend said he did see it. He did say it was like some sort of like wild man or something. But I don't know if I can believe that. But it was really weird. That was probably the most scary thing like I've like probably been around, because it was just so quiet. I remember that quietness, and when that happens, I was like, this is real.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we're dead.
No, see, that's what's crazy, man. Is, you know, I told my story, my Murrah home story, where I hooted, and you know, I didn't see what it was, but I never asked anybody what it was. But man, that is crazy. I don't, man. You've been holding back on these, man.
Yeah.
I think it's because
That's a
we
good
start
one.
talking.
I was gonna tell them at the event, but I wanted everybody to have a chance to tell their story.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
Be up there 35 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't want to
steal the
I have
time, dude.
about 6 stories that I was saving for that event, but I'm just gonna go ahead and tell them because they're LP stories.
Yeah.
There's a story I told if I tell it again, but I mean, and there's stuff I just read too, so I'll probably just end up reading other people's stuff or whatever. But yeah, dude, that was. Yeah, and then we went out there a few times after that, me and like 2 other people. And there was like a scream we heard way out in the woods. It was like a woman screaming, but then my friend was like, "It might be a panther, because panthers have that."
It's a
They sound
woman-
like
woman-
a woman screaming or like a baby.
Baby,
crying.
yeah, baby crying.
But I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah. Well, that's what some people don't get, man. Like, you mess with the wrong thing, like, and it ain't gonna be like, oh, I'll just smudge, but you can't just like use that sage bundle that you bought at Trader Joe's or you ordered off Amazon, man. You gotta have something stronger. You have to have something that maybe is doctored up a little bit, or even just you have to know people that know how to get rid of that thing. So some people say, well, I can whistle, or I can go out and hoot and whatever, and those things aren't going to bother me. And then I'll just go home and smoke off with my little bundle that I bought at Walmart. It doesn't work that way.
No. Well, that's one thing too.
How do they sell it at Walmart?
That'd be crazy if they did. They had like a little. You know how they have the Hispanic section?
Yeah.
They have the
Oh,
Native
the
American
Native
section.
American
That
section.
little red section.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I'm shocked they don't have that here, man. Especially around here.
I know, that is crazy.
Parks are doing it now.
Yeah. All right, copyright that.
Copyright
too.
that. Don't steal that now.
Don't be stealing my res section at Walmart now. And don't be stealing from my res section at Walmart.
Tyler has literally come up with like 9 different copyrights since I've joined the podcast. He's like, don't steal that.
Yeah, that's where your Kamad cheese is, and I need my
canned meat,
my Kool-Aid.
Sponsored.
Canned juice.
Yeah. Oh, the juice that comes in tube, like frozen. It comes out like a big old turd.
Hey, let's talk about that real quick. How fire is that? Those are fire, man.
The juices.
The
Oh,
juice.
the frozen juices.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Flames.
Always.
You know what? I haven't.
I remember, man, this one called Five Alive. I don't even remember what was in it, but I remember we used to get it when we were kids. Called Five Alive. Man, I would eat that thing. My parents would be looking. I'd be like getting in that thing, eating like a slush or something.
Oh man, you'd be having the guts too. I bet.
That's not. That's why I'm blind in one eye. And I got those bad kidneys now.
Jace Davis, y'all talk to straight facts, so we try.
Bro.
We try.
We really do, and that's one thing too that like, with I'm always. This is just me, I guess. I'm always worried that I'm gonna get a call from someone and say, "You didn't tell that right." I'm always worried about that. Like I have a family like, "Hey, you know you didn't tell that story right." That's why I think that's another reason why Chris is careful too, and he says things not in a specific way, and I have a hard time sometimes because like I want to say it, like I just want to be like, "This is what it is. This is what it does," and just be forward with it. But like I said, people that are listening, like I said, they don't, sometimes you don't know how to protect yourself. And, if smudging, or smoking off, whatever you want to say it, isn't your thing, talk to the creator. There was a time in my life where I had shadows falling around. And I'll eventually tell those stories. I was praying to the creator every night. And I would not see those things for weeks. So that's just things that, you can do, just to, protect yourself a little bit when you listen to our stuff. Because we do talk about this is real. Like, we're not talking about cursed Annabelle dolls. We're not talking about
Leprechaun in the Res. No.
Yeah, we're not talking about none of those. We're not talking about Freddy versus Jason. This is real stuff. And I think you guys can tell that, especially the listeners. I think you guys can see that. I believe.
I fall asleep to the podcast at night sometimes and forget to pray.
I'm gonna pray for you.
Yeah.
What's so much
I'm gonna put some tobacco down.
The fact that you're falling asleep to the podcast is wild.
That's dope.
That is amazing.
Just think, she's the last thing that she hears would fall asleep. I guess it's that girl. I guess I don't know.
Lewinsky, are you a girl? I haven't seen your profile. I'm in the live chat.
I just think Monica Lewinsky. I'm sorry. That's just what I was thinking of.
That's the way to say it, but not the spelling of it. Nettie, remind me what we're talking about. I was eating dinner. Did you guys see the whole story, and do you have an idea of what it was?
What story?
We were talking about started feeling really tired, heard the footsteps.
Oh.
Okay, so, man, I want to tell the story so bad. I hate saying, hey, I'll tell you a story and then not tell you a story.
Tune in later, because we'll probably be talking about all that stuff. But.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because when it comes to being tired like that, I've heard a few stories, especially out kind of, west of Eufaula. I think Hannah's west of the small town. I'll say Hannah. On this certain road, they used to walk it every night, and they'd get tired, and they'd fall asleep under this certain tree. Now I don't know if the tree was doctored or but like I said, I'll go more into that story. But I believe it has to do, depending on if you're native or if you're not native. I'm not sure. Who was that said that?
That was Vernon Anderson.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure if you're native or non-native, but it could be something that's native.
Break colonization. Hello there. Oh, that's my mom's.
What's good?
I joined late, but dang it, I'm here. That's all that matters.
That's it.
Hey, hey. You know what? Better late than never.
Yeah.
Resolicious, Casey Nicholson. Hey there.
What's up?
What up, bro? You killed it in Telecall Friday. Go follow Casey Nicholson. He's an indigenous comedian. Been on the podcast several times. Friend of the show. Joe C.K. Did you guys cleanse after that? We cleanse after everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Oh wait, do you mean when I was a kid and I heard that stuff in Pawnee? No.
Didn't know better.
I didn't know any better, but now after we tell all these stories and stuff, we cleanse before, after.
Yeah, for sure.
To be safe. That happened to I couldn't have been a panther or bobcat. Oh yeah. I told that story on the pod. Probably don't have enough time for it now, but I will tell it soon. Bubble gets after her.
Dang, your mom was getting tired at his lowest point.
Was it for me?
Yeah, when you was eating that stuff.
Oh, that Five Alive.
Lewinsky, yes, I am a girl. Okay.
Hey, yeah, well, I'm glad we can.
I just wanted to use your proper pronoun, that's all.
Vernon Anderson.
Well, I was referring to you.
I got some Inuit in me. Break colonization, hearts, moms. So that story she's talking about, since we don't have any comments, I told her on the pod, but we were at her place at IA, because she lived in at the family housing, and it was me and, I don't know, like 5 other people, I think. I don't know. But those casitas are kind of built weird. Like they're old, like adobes or whatever. But behind there is just like a open field, I guess you would say. I don't know. New Mexico's weird because it's a lot of dirt and stuff. like desert. But behind that is just like this trench, I guess. This giant trench of just nothing. And then beyond that is some houses. But we were all just hanging out, chilling. All of a sudden, like, we heard this baby crying. Like, this, like, it sounded like a legit baby out there somewhere. And we all, I think we're all talking, and then somebody heard it. I can't remember who heard it, but like, shh, listen. And there was like this baby crying. It was like, when? And it was like just constantly crying. And then we're like, should we go help it? Is it a ghost? Is it trying to lure us? Like,
yeah.
Or maybe it's because I know panthers do that, but I don't think any panthers are out there. And so, anyways, we listened to it. I think it stopped. And it happened again. It was closer. Like, it got closer to where we were at. But every time it would stop and go again, it was closer. And it got to the point where it's like right outside the window. Not like right there, but you could tell it was like, yeah, it was so weird. Like, I would have been freaked out, but I was with a bunch of people, so I was like,
feel a little bit safe.
Yeah, I was feeling a little bit safe. I think somebody wanted to go out there and
he went out there and whistled, didn't he?
Dang, your mom said then you wanted to go see.
Was it me? I thought somebody else said, let's go out there. And then I think I agreed, because at that time I was like, because I've ghost hunted and stuff, like in Pawnee and everything, so I'm not afraid, but I can be, I guess. But it's more like adrenaline for me sometimes, like when I feel that, I don't know what it is. It's just like some sort of like fear, I guess. But we were with a bunch of people, and I think I was trying to get everybody to go. But I mean, I can't remember if I said, hey, let's all go out there. But I think somebody else said we should go try to save it. But we didn't know if it was like an actual baby or if it was like go. But we're like, there's no like newborns around here.
Yeah.
Nobody has like a newborn baby.
Mm-hmm.
Every kid there, I think the youngest kid was maybe like 4.
Oh, so they weren't, yeah, so it wouldn't.
This was like a legit like baby like left out there. Possibly. I don't know. But
that's crazy.
To be left out there and then.
Was there any trees out there? Like,
no, I don't think so.
Because I've heard Bigfoot cry. Like, it does a baby's cry.
Really?
I've heard that story too. Well, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
go ahead. I'm not.
Oh, well, there's that movie that I talked about, The Legend of Boggy Creek, and there's a book that was written by Lyle Blackburn called The Beast of Boggy Creek. And in that book, he basically outlines every newspaper article that's ever been written on the Fouke Monster, aka Bigfoot, every eyewitness account that has been documented, so on and so forth. Anyway, long story short, there was a story of this Bigfoot sort of attacking this house, and they said the same thing. Like they thought they heard like a baby crying, and the sheriff in the police report summed it up as there was a panther that lived under the porch. So that's not the first time that I've heard like Bigfoot making like a baby crying sound. I don't know what the purpose of that would be other than to lure you out there.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
That's basically, I think. And I mean, like I said, I'm not an expert or anything, but I've heard different people mention that, and I've heard interviews with Lyle Blackburn on YouTube. You know, him talking about it, and some other people that I follow on YouTube. But that's one thing too. I'm wondering, since there is no woods, I'm just trying to think of what else that could be crying out there like that. Or it could have just been a ghost too.
I know. I think that's the conclusion we all made, was like, it probably is a ghost. I don't think we ever heard it again. It was just that one night we heard it, and then I don't think we ever heard that again. Let's see, no trees. Oh, it was Steven. Yeah, he was like, we should save it. We should go try to save it. I was like, I mean, I don't think it's a baby, but I mean, let's go look at it.
You would think that would be like on the news or something,
right? Like there'd be like a missing.
Yeah, there's something.
I'll tell you what I'm excited to talk about, guys. I am so excited to talk about missing 411. I am so. Y'all have no idea, man. I'd gotten that rabbit hole back when he first, back in like 2012. A preface. Someone had made mention that, that we should talk about missing 411, and when you mention that, that baby crying. That's interesting to me because I know that there is those UFOs out there, out that way. So I always wondered about that. What if, like I said, this is a theory. Now I want to hear y'all's opinion on this. What if, those entities that come down off those UFOs that that come here. What if they use things like that to lure people? I don't know why I just thought of that.
I wouldn't throw it out. I mean, shoot. But is it us luring us?
Future us?
Like trying to tell us something?
Like, hey, I need to let you know that your girl's gonna break up with you. I want to let you know that your car insurance is late. No.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's a whole nother, the whole alien, fake UFO, I don't know. That's a whole nother episode, too, because there's so much, we kind of bounced on it, the last time, but we just have technology withheld from us that we probably will maybe see, but when we do, what are they using, I guess?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. A lot of lies. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. We start having literally. We'll start seeing FBI, United States of America, scroll up in the chat. What'd you say?
The president.
Yeah. The men in black gonna be showing up.
Joe Biden in the chat.
Speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up. What do you guys think about those men in black?
Man,
have you seen some of the photographs from the 60s and stuff?
Mm-hmm. There's
those are the creepy ones.
I've seen the one. I think he worked for Barack, but it looked like a reptilian. Have you guys seen that one?
Is it Zuckerberg? Nah.
Dang, really though. Do you see the way he was drinking that water?
Have you seen those videos of them though? Their eyes closed like a lizard of some sort.
Sideways?
Yeah, they'll close like that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's a lot of celebs.
I know, God. Start getting into.
God dang, that's a whole nother.
Reptilians.
That may be its own live stream.
Yeah, for real. We'd have to dive into that one soon because I don't know if anybody's into that stuff, but I mean, it's just the stuff I see. I'm sure you guys see it too, but
I'm kind of far in the chat here because I scrolled down by accident, but someone said Beyonce.
Yeah, that reminds me that old. Remember that old? I don't know if y'all young ones probably don't remember the old TV show V, where the aliens came down and they were reptiles underneath their.
Is it the woman? The woman with short black hair?
Well, I mean, this is the old one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's from the 80s. It's a mini series that was on TV.
Cartoon?
Nah, it was real live action.
Wow.
Check it out.
I'll have to check
it's old. It's older.
But yeah, what's y'all's opinion on Men in Black though? Do you think it's extraterrestrial people, or do you think it's just highly trained, skilled people that go out and investigate these things?
They just have a look about them that's just not normal. From the pictures I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, there's stories of them just coming over and taking over some stuff, investigations, and then it's just get out of here.
Yeah.
This is our stuff now, but I have to look more into Men in Black stuff. I've seen the movie.
Dang, Will Smith. No, there's a guy, he has a podcast. It's Monster 911, I believe. It's on YouTube. He's out of Tulsa. His name's Lance Hightower. He talks to people from all over the country. And he had talked to somebody who had an encounter with these quote-unquote Men in Black. I don't know where this was at. I can't remember the episode. But basically, it was a mother and his child, and a small child. And basically, they had saw an upright walking wolf go into a portal. This mother and the kid out in the middle of nowhere. They bought this place dirt cheap. And no one, the person they bought the land from wouldn't tell them anything. Wouldn't disclose. You're supposed to, but she was like, man, this is such a great. He's got 20 acres and it's half the price of what it usually should be. And it's so this I think this is back in the early 2000s. But basically, they saw this thing, and there was all this weird stuff, portals, that she was seeing, and lights, and similar to the spook lights she was seeing out there. And she even saw like other types of creatures. There's just weird stuff. You have to go listen to the episode. And I may be butchering this too. Sorry if Lance Hightower ever hears this. But, you know, they came to her door, and one guy was dressed basically like the Hells Angels. Jean jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Other guy was in a straight suit. And the guy with the suit didn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
The guy with the jean jacket talked. But the jean jacket guy was rude. Like mean. But they were both like 6'8", like tall. The guy with the suit didn't look right. And he would only step forward in the light, like for a brief second. Because he was so tall, and they always came like in the evening time. To where like the light was hitting weird, and you know, and she said, I can never get a good look at that guy in the suit.
Mm.
So I have to go back and listen to that episode, but I remember him saying that. I believe it was the Monster 911, but I had heard that story from them, or from him and his brothers podcast. But that's crazy. You know, I believe they're out there. You know, I've seen video footage. Actually, you know, maybe we may have to bring this up off the pod. But basically, two guys like 6'6" suits walk in, talk to the front desk person at a hotel because I guess they had said that they seen something over there, and walked out. But they were like had to like bend down to like walk into the it's one of those, you know, open and close like automatic doors. It's crazy, man.
Mm. Yeah, there's so much stuff out there that we probably just haven't even seen yet. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's pretty scary though.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody got any MIB stories? Let us know.
Dang, if you do, man, hey, make sure you're encrypted. Your phone's encrypted now. Make sure you're on an opposite line, and hit us on our what do they call it? Prepaid phones.
Burner phone.
Burner phone.
I'm still thinking about buying one. I don't know yet. I have no idea yet. Have to buy some units. Beyonce. Oh yeah, we skipped over that one. Yeah, there's a video though of her transforming, and have you seen that?
No.
There's I guess it's like before a live performance, or maybe it's during, but she's like, has her head down and she pops it up and her hair is like coming out of her face. And it's like her face transforms like into like a demon of some sort.
Oh, yay.
I don't know if it's the camera angle or if it's like the lighting, but I'll send it to you guys. It's really creepy.
Jay-Z, if you're listening, let us know. Hit us
Jay-Z.
up on...
You know, he definitely seen. You know, honestly, they'd probably be in their basement doing like sacrifices and stuff.
Whoa.
Jay-Z.
Yeah, I mean,
He said that, not me.
Hey, I allegedly.
I heard some stuff. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
He asked me if dragons and people could marry, and I said, not in this dimension. LOL. What's that from?
Wait, what is that from? Is that a story that we...
Oh, wait. I was told a story about something called a dragger or something like that. I think it's like hold on. Coyote's body in a human face or something like that.
Oh, dang.
A dragger? Let us know more about that, Vernon. I think that dragon comment is to that one. I don't know. I love that show V.
Oh, yeah, there you go. V.
Beyonce is an imperial witch. Ooh.
That's what I'm talking about. Allegedly, though.
Yeah, allegedly. Both MIB. I think MIB investigate anything that's not in the natural order of things.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know if it's true. I say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about...
Don't come and see me. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know about that stuff. I'll just have to look into it. But native stuff, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Is that what it says, native stuff?
Yeah.
Red stuff, I'm getting there. But, well, that's all the comments. Unless there's nobody else on here, we'll probably end this right here.
Hey, before you end it real quick, hey, I need everyone in here, hit that like button a million times. We're almost close to 10K likes. If y'all can get us to 10K likes tonight, you may see us again soon.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We'll see those hearts.
One. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
There's like one. Yeah, I was like one little tumbleweed.
Hey,
Blow.
yeah, just keep hitting it. Just keep hitting it. Because like I said, we want to get up to, we want to get, we want to make sure that, we're visible to people because
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
I think what we talk about is important, especially around here where we're at.
Yeah, I like doing these lives because, like you said, I remember a lot of stuff sometimes, and it's cool to go off like what people bring up.
Yeah.
If it's safe to talk about, but I mean, And I love the interactions on Instagram, Facebook, the messages we get, the photos we get, people like wanting their stuff on our pages, and I mean it's a crazy community like that we've created, I guess. Like it's just and in every follow we get on TikTok, every comment we get, good or bad, I mean, at least like, you know, they're commenting on stuff and you know, discussing it. Like there's a lot of discussions on those comments.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. You have to get TikTok.
Yeah.
Tyler, so you can read all of it.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Like I said, I go through the comments, you know, every now and then, because you know sometimes I'll wake up and there's like 100 comments.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's hard to, you know, because my thing is I want to react to everyone.
Yeah, I know.
And I want to have a conversation, because even though that, you know, sometimes I think, you know, Russell and I, we try our best to try to, you know, comment to everybody and make people know, you know, like we care about what you say on our page. Like we want you, you know, we want you to comment, and we want you to know that we see your comments. So eventually we'll get to everybody's comment.
And we're trying to compile, like, this is going to take a while, but we're trying to compile these comments to where we have them maybe written down somewhere. I don't know, maybe we can go through them here on the podcast if there's like interesting stories that we see, or I mean here on the live or on the recorded podcast. But we're trying to compile like all these stories we're getting and everything we see, so it's not going unnoticed. There's just a lot.
There's a lot to keep up with
every minute.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool though. I enjoy it. I like the interactions. I love everybody that like comments and loves our stuff, and even does stitches. That was new to me. Duos it, so
yeah,
that's really cool. Do it. Keep doing it. Just if you're gonna whistle at night,
don't do it in your car at McDonald's drive-thru.
Be careful if you're trying to test this stuff or knock or something. Just be careful.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and we're like I said, I appreciate you guys joining us, you know, because I think the three of us, you know, we're missing Chris. Shout out to Chris.
Yep,
Chris Honka Hill.
Yep.
You know, he's like the uncle of the group, I guess you could say. The elder. The elder of the group, because, I mean, we're all rather younger dudes.
Rugged uncle.
Rugged. But, you know, I think the shine that he gets on our page, I enjoy seeing that. People all over the world have really been like, man, I love hearing this guy. And, you know, he, what is it? It's, I think it's Christopher Hill on TikTok. Go follow him, you know.
So he's tagged on everything we do, so
yeah.
If there's a way to look at the tagged people on our videos, and you could just go follow him.
And he's been doing a lot of these events that we do. He's really helped us out with you know, making sure that we're taken care of and making sure things are right. And, you know, he was saying at Pawnee, he was so tired because he was so worried that, you know, this was going to happen, then he could do this and that, you know. So, you know, I just wanted to, you know, Chris ever hears this, and I shared this live with him earlier. Chris, we appreciate you, man. And,
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
And, you know, your words, you know, we appreciate that.
He's not even afraid to take a nap somewhere spooky.
That is some savage stuff.
Yeah, he had a story. Go check out the pod.
Yeah, let's just say he's got some swinging brass ones.
Oh, Tyler. Some grapefruits.
Deep in his plums.
No, I was waiting for one of y'all to say loins, and I hope you don't.
Nah. The plums. I feel let the boy watch. Deep in my plums.
Dang, your mom's laughing at the uncle. Your mom was laughing at the uncle comment.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you guys, you know, having me on. I love learning stuff. That's, you know, huge for me. I don't know. I cannot say, you know, Mado enough. Just from you and definitely from you. You know, you're pretty much the reason I'm here.
Well, Russell's the reason why we're all here. Let's be real.
I'm just saying, like, you know, I mean, he had me on the original Okie podcast, and I had kind of wrote off Skoden Cinema because it just wasn't the groundbreaking show that I thought it was going to be. But anyway, But no, I appreciate it, and I'm shocked every day when I get messages from these guys that like, look who's following us now, or look who liked this page, look who shared this, look how many people joined, look how many people like. So I was like, for real? Like seriously? Like, so I just say thank you. Everybody that's hit that like button, everybody that's subscribed, everybody that's commented, everybody that's emailed, everybody that shared their story. It's important that we document these things. It's important that we, hold on to these stories and be able to have a platform to tell these stories, where people know what you're talking about. Or they're not going to laugh at you. They're not going to judge you. I don't know. I just love being a part of this. I look forward to it, every time that we get together. So I just want to say, motto.
Yep. Everybody here, our next episode drops Friday. It's going to be human
Combustion.
Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah.
And then we talk a little bit more about some other stuff, but that's the main thing we're going to talk about on that one.
And I'm going to apologize ahead of time for that episode. Man, I was really scared talking about that. I'm going to be real with y'all. I was real spooked out talking about that, and I don't think I sounded too great on it, But there was a story that was told to me, when the lady told us, at the storytelling, I felt that. And I still feel that because when Chris brought up the topic of the spontaneous human combustion, I had to pull that one out of the bag, and if it sounds kind of tacky, with me pausing a lot, it's because I was genuinely scared about that topic. I'm gonna be honest with you, I was really scared about it.
Yeah, so boo him. No,
trash on me. I'd love to hear the comments. No.
Down votes. No, I'm sorry.
It was a touchy subject. I knew stuff from it from growing up, but I haven't really thought about it till now. But I wish I would have had a little more time to research it more. But we bring up some photos we talk about too, so we'll probably post those on Instagram. But everybody go follow us on Instagram. Hit the icon in our profile. Go follow us. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have a link tree that's in our profile. Hit that, and it will guide you wherever you need to go, whether it's Spotify, Apple, YouTube. We even have our episodes on Native Oklahoma Magazine. So
that's awesome.
Go check that out. Tyler does Skoden Cinema. That's available on all streaming platforms. Go check that out. I'm also the host of Okie Podcast, so go check that out. We both do our own podcast and this, so
yeah.
Busy dude, man, and Russell, you're the pod father, man. That shirt's fitting. You're doing. I mean, this dude. We were just talking before when we got on here that, basically he's like, I'm like, because we're trying to figure out a day to do a ghost hunt at my building. I work, at South County Recreation Center. If you ever come by and see me.
Oh, you just dropped where they can find you now.
I don't care, man. I'm a government employee, man. They can Google me.
Public, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But we're he was just detailing. He's like, man, well, I got this on Tuesday, that on just on down the line. So go support Russell in all his endeavors too, because this show, this podcast is growing so fast. It's almost to the point where we can't keep up a lot of the time. But I wanted to say this, go follow both of these dudes, because I listened to Tyler's Legend of Boggy Creek episode. He goes into detail about every aspect of that legend. So, like I said, go follow these guys. Skoden Cinema, Okie Podcast. Russell, I know you got a few more that that you're working on or you're trying to work on.
Turtle Island Boys, probably making a comeback. I was on several other people's podcasts. The Social Podcast was the most recent one I was on. Go check that out. That's hosted by Mona Cedillo, I believe. And then, if I butchered that last name, please let me know. Go check out Meet with Comedy. It's a comedy team that I kind of put together to create content for them. So we have some stuff coming out for that. Go check that out. Go check out Frank Anthony Thompson. He's a rapper. Filming stuff for him. So go check him out. Go support him on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to his YouTube and go check him out on iTunes or wherever. It's probably going to be Frank Thompson. And golly, go check out okiepodcast.com. Go check out Native Oklahoma Magazine. We're on that site. This show is on that site. Okie Podcast is on that site as well. Check out our live shows. We got a bunch of live shows coming up.
Porum's
coming up October 8th. Purim, Oklahoma at the Powwow. We'll probably just go around getting stories from a lot of people, but that should be a good time. I'm excited for that.
Chris is emceeing that one, so he has some more details on what we're going to be doing. But if we're going to try to work out to where, you guys can come to us or we can come to we'll figure it out. But come see us at Purim.
Yeah, October 8th, and then Friday,
it's at the football field too, the Purim football field.
Yeah, I've never been there. We'll have to carpool, but go check that out. Go check us out at that Purim, and then episode drops Friday. So if you're not subscribed to Reservation Mysteries, Unsolved Mysteries of the Reservation, go do that on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, everywhere, and YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. Add us if you want. So
hey, we're at 12K.
12K, guys. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
you. Thank you so much. I forgot about the comment section. They were just thanking everybody too.
Yo, shout out to everybody. No. Shout out to the world.
Oh, my mom said I have a Bigfoot story. I'll tell you one day. Might have told you already. Not sure. I don't think I heard it. I actually talked to the Bigfoot. Yeah.
Whoa.
Send me that story. You might have told me, but I cannot remember.
Was it like mind speak? I wonder.
I don't know. Send me that story.
Or telekinesis, or whatever they call it.
Much love to you guys. Good night. Oh yeah. Thank you, Mom. Yeah, we love you.
Shout out to Russell's mom. We appreciate you.
Support you till the day I die. Yep. For real.
Dang.
Nope. Oh, it was real talking. Send me that story if you can.
Yes.
And then we'll read it on the air. You guys are going to be big. Keep it up. It's well deserved. Thank you, Lewinsky.
Thank you.
Lewinsky, we appreciate you. Yeah, you've been, every time we do live, you're in here, and we appreciate you.
Heck And she's saying, and he heard her. Oh, okay. Send me that story.
I want that story.
And we'll probably have some shirts soon. Let us know if you would want a shirt. We can do a shirt order, ship them out or whatever. But
that'd be super cool because, I've had a few people ask about it. About getting shirts but guys, we appreciate y'all, and we're gonna end this live here. You guys have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next time. Smudge.